Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Bugs to Betas to Builds stream. My name is Alex Murray. I am joined by Rich Grisham himself, our CEO of the company. Welcome, Rich, to the channel.
Well, thank you for the promotion to CEO. I appreciate that very much.
COO, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not the CEO. Would be nice to be, but I'm not. But that's okay. No, thanks. What's happening, Alex? How are you, sir?
It has been a good day so far. This is our first time ever doing this little custom stream that we're going to be doing here. For anybody who
Yes.
doesn't know what this is, before I let Rich talk a little bit about some stuff, the B2B2B stream, as I'm pronouncing it correctly on my end, is going to be all about us explaining all about our new builds that we release to the public in terms of what they bring about, patch notes, and then walking you guys through some of the features that the game will be having. So the first time ever, I am actually, I think, live on stream with a webcam. So we'll have to see what the chat's reaction is to that. But Rich, you said you had something you wanted to mention as well.
Well, I mean, it's not that I wanted to mention. I just want to sort of say to let everybody know that this is the first time that we have done this kind of a thing, which is we have a brand new release of the game, version 21.6 build 81, and we thought that it would be a good thing to sort of walk through the release live with the community. I wish we had thought about it sooner, but we didn't. But we think that this is going to be a valuable service to the community. And so that's why we're doing it. Obviously, Twitch drops are enabled. So, the PAX obviously helps people get excited about it. But, it just feels like the right thing to do because we support this game for almost the entire year that it is, the newest game. Like, this is not the last patch that we'll have. So, there's more coming. But it's just it's something that we wanted to do. Alex, you've done a tremendous job putting this together. This everything that we're going to see here tonight was all Alex. I had very little to nothing to do with the content of the show. So well done by you, Alex. Super awesome.
And if it looks bad, you guys can all blame me. So I see where
Well,
this is
there
going.
was that. I see. I wasn't going to go in that direction. I was merely giving myself plausible denial. But also, clearly you are far too handsome for me to also be live on the stream with you. So you won't have my video because, it's just not fair, right? For a good-looking guy like yourself to be, I can't compete with that. So I'm gonna stay off the camera and just talk in here. So, but no, all kidding aside, we're excited to do this. It's fun to go through the list. It's fun to get the community reaction. It's fun to talk about these things. And I think this is going to be something that people are going to come to enjoy. And really, it's just about, it's about trying to make sure that everybody knows everything that we're trying to do to make the best possible game for the best community in video games.
Exactly. I feel like we've been wanting to do this kind of a stream for a long time, just to kind of give people a deeper dive into the updates and the bug squashing world of OOTP, but we've just never had a chance to really push this idea forward. So I'm really happy to see if the community likes this, if this is something that we might be able to continue doing in the future, which I think we will. And just, again, it just gives everybody in the channel and everybody on our YouTubes and the Twitch pages a chance to be able just to have time to look at what each patch does and what we fixed and, just to give people a chance to see that their reports, their messages, and their alerts to us and to the dev team, it does work, guys. It really does. We do listen. We listen to a lot of it, and anything that we can change, as fast as possible, if it's something that we're okay with, that we do it. We try to get all the bugs fixed and all the bugs killed.
Indeed, we do. So what do you say, Alex? We hop into it. And really, the first item on the list is a big one, and it's not about bugs. This is a major expansion of one of the cornerstone additions to the Out of the Park Baseball sort of 21 proper, the traditional mode. We have blown this thing out big time, Alex. I'm so excited to talk about the updates to the construction kit.
Yes, the construction kit is going to be so much more enjoyable as we get further and further into even, more future updates to this. But we've added 5 new outfield elements you guys can choose from. We've also added the ability to allow you guys to rename the elements however you please. There's a name.txt file buried a little bit deep in the text systems and the folder forums area. But you can find that text.txt or name.txt file, my apologies, and you can rename any of the elements you'd like. So we have, again, 5 new outfield elements. They range from billboards, which are up on the screen right now. We also, of course, have the new building elements you guys can pick from. This is basically brick buildings. We're going to also have 3-tier stands systems. I have had it set up with the billboard center field, as there's no center field 3-tier at the moment. The other one we have included is the fountains, which I personally like. This will be great. As someone who's from Arizona, we have the pool out in right center field at Chase Field. It makes much more sense for me at this point. And then, of course, the last one, which all of the dev team loved the most, is our train outfield element. And this is literally a high-rise train, elevated train system, almost like a subway system from New York, that goes across the entire outfield if you choose all 5 elements. Now, we wanted to demonstrate all the stuff that you guys can do with this, and we wanted to also highlight just something else you can do, which is you can mix and match them. So I have a live version of the game up on my screen right now, and you can see you can mix and match stuff, and they actually do blend fairly well together. So you can mix and match the train to, the fountains on the corners.
And by the way, there is absolutely no truth to the rumor that this patch was delayed by a week because I crashed the trains. That is not true. Do not believe it. I did not do exactly that thing to cause the delay of the patch by a week. Not true. Don't believe everything you read.
I'll let chat decide about that, Rich, to be honest. So yes, 5 new elements for the outfield. You guys can pick and choose what you'd like. Oh, I'm jumping ahead too fast. There we go. And again, ability to rename all of these. So you can change the wording from fountain to, pool, if you'd prefer it to be called as pool. You can also change any of the ones we had previously. So the cornfield, the double, bullpen, sloped stands, all of those can be customized exactly how you guys would like them to say. So that is the big one that we're talking about today is, of course, the construction kit edition. So we hope you guys like that. We hope you guys like the ability to use some of those new features and make some of your custom stadiums look a little bit nicer that way. All right.
I did see somebody ask in the chat whether the construction kits will be able to be imported into Perfect Team. The answer to that is I really hope so. There's obviously a lot of pieces and parts to that. But certainly our long-term goal is for the construction kit to be expanded outside of just the traditional out-of-the-park baseball mode and into Perfect Team as well. So that's the goal. That's not the case right now, and it's not going to be the case in out-of-the-park baseball 21, but it's definitely something that we want to have fully integrated in everything.
Absolutely. And I know for some people who do PT already, the issue right now is that basically stadiums don't transfer across to other teams using the PT servers right now. So that's something that would have to be edited down the road. So maybe when we finally get around to that kind of stuff, maybe then the construction kits will be brought in as well. So I'm crossing my fingers about that as well, Rich. I hope that one day we'll finally have that, and that would be a lot of fun. All right,
but it's in there today. What you're seeing right now is in there today for the franchise. So
yeah, so all of these things we're going to talk about here today are already live. These are stuff that was released yesterday, I believe, with the most recent patch release. So you guys can download the new patch. I know it's been accepted on the App Store. I think it's good to go on the Game Pass as well. So wherever you have OOTP 21, you should have this available to download and start utilizing right now. So that should be good.
Yep, and to a comment saying that you don't see the changes made in the construction kit till you save and go to the game. There's no preview. We are not done with the construction kit, right? This is going to evolve over the course of years, right? This was not a one and done thing, right? So
this is not Sorry, go ahead.
No, we are going to continue to expand the construction kit. Having the ability to do the preview is a big part of what is on there. On the roadmap so just like everything in the game, right? Just the traditional game mode, just like Perfect Team, the construction kit has a long-term roadmap. And what we, you can tell obviously what we delivered when we first shipped it. And by the way, this thing took a couple of years to build. This is one of the construction kit is one of the largest development efforts we've ever made as a company in the game. In fact, about probably 2 or 3 years ago, it was still sort of considered impossible to do, just too much. But with enough time and enough dedication on the focused resources is how we got it. So, again, I'm not rambling, but I'm probably rambling a little bit. But yes, the construction kit itself will continue to be expanded. Being able to preview, being able to do other things with it. Not just new elements, but also just new experiences. It's all in the roadmap, I promise. So,
Oh yeah,
there will be more. It's big and there's a lot going on in there. So we're really excited about all the updates that we made to it that are now available.
Oh yeah, and the best part, and this is what I actually wanted to bring up really fast, is that this isn't like an OOTP 21 exclusive kind of feature. This is a feature that will be in all of our future games as well, so it can only get better and better and better. So that's why we love this feature. We love this ability, and even adding on more stuff right now is just going to make it even that much better down the road. So we hope you guys like the new elements. We hope you guys like the ability to change the names, and we hopefully will be able to bring you guys more of this kind of stuff down the road. So yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's move on to the next section of our talk, which is going to be, we went ahead and finally updated, well, not finally, but we updated and modified some of our face gens. We have 437 new or modified face gen files that you will receive when you download Build 81. These will go straight into your face gen folder. These range from a bunch of rookies to a couple of edited veterans. I know that people like Kirby Yates got updated, as well as the likes of Pavin Smith, Tanner Hooch. I don't know how to spell it.
I don't know. It looks like Houch to me.
Did I spell that wrong? I think I might have spelled it wrong.
I don't know.
And even Sam Huff. So we have a bunch of the new rookies brought in, and we'll be continuing to update those as well as we see new changes, as well as just making sure that we update any rookies that come into the game. So again,
we got a question from Simple Enigma who's asking, was Ichiro updated? Do you know if Ichiro is updated?
I did not look for Ichiro as a face gen update, unfortunately. I'd have to go back through the system. There are 437 new files, so I'd have to look through 437 of them to try to find Ichiro. So I'll let you know later after I spend an hour doing that.
Good deal.
It's pronounced Hawk. Okay, all right, there we go.
Hawk.
That's better.
Hawk?
Hawk?
Hawk would be H-A.
That would be H-A.
Oh, you say it like Hawk. Okay, got it. Okay.
Names, my biggest weakness. All right, moving on.
Yeah. No, I'm terrible with names. And I always tell people that I do not mean to be disrespectful when I say a name poorly. I promise. It's just because I'm bad with names.
Yeah. The mouth just doesn't make the words that I want to be said. It just doesn't. All right, so we also added in a whole bunch, well, not a whole bunch, but enough quick start setting changes for the Nippon League and the Nippon's AAA system. All right, we went ahead and edited some of the award names to reflect, I believe, the official ones that are out there. We also have adjusted some of the quick start settings for starting pitchers in terms of how quickly they're hooked, as well as relief pitchers for their hooks. And then we decreased pitcher stamina in both leagues from low to very low, but then increased the relief pitcher stamina modifier from 0.825 to a flat 1.000. So we've made some adjustments after looking at the way that the Nippon League has been operating, I believe, for this year and the past year. We have made those changes. Trust me, I had to go digging through and getting screenshots to figure out what they changed, but I did find all this kind of stuff. So they've done some minor modifications to both of these leagues, and you guys can see that all on your screen right now.
And to Yangdo89, who again, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that properly, says, can we put more leagues in KBO? There's more minor leagues in the future. The answer is yes, absolutely. Just like you can see here, right? Like a lot of people don't realize sort of the significant amount of time and effort that goes into supporting these international leagues and things like that. Now, obviously, they are not licensed leagues, so there's only so much that we can do. Right. This is not a license. So, but in the future, you never know what kind of things can happen, but we absolutely will continue to expand the support and the authenticity, which is the real key, is the authenticity of all of the international leagues moving forward. So yeah, this is what we were able to put in place for now, but we're always looking to make it bigger, better, because we got a bunch of people bunch of people who love to play the international leagues, especially Japan and Korea. So we recognize that. We love it. We appreciate it. And we're going to keep on investing in that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing more and more about that kind of stuff as we go further down the road as well. So, absolutely. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff. We have a lot of small changes and a lot of stuff that we're not really going to talk a whole lot about, but we just want to mention them because these are just like some fixes. Most of these were brought up to us either through the forums or through our support ticket system, so if you guys utilize either of those to give us information about bugs, thank you so much for doing that.
Make sure you send every single one of those to Nicolino.
Yes.
Nicolino
Yes.
is the guy who should get all of them.
Ask for Nicolino to be your support agent, and we're all good.
No, don't ask. Demand.
Demand.
Say,
yes.
I'm only working with Nicolino. Nobody else but him.
Oh man! All right, so yes, we fixed standings, game behinds, in terms of what they're shown as for wild cards when multiple teams per division make the playoffs. This is in reflection to the 2020 season where we are going to be seeing 2 division teams advancing and 1 or 2 wildcard teams advancing. We wanted to make sure that the games behind was reflective of those changes. So when you download Build 81, you'll be able to have those updated as well, and that will be fixed for your games, especially if you're doing any of the live starts. We also fixed some tiebreakers in terms of what the seedings would be for them. We had seen some issues with that in regards to the new playoffs for 2020, I believe, and we have fixed those as well. We have fixed various 3D issues related to the winds and fly balls that have been curving on screen. You may have noticed this whenever we do some live streams of ours. Now, that being said, we have also noticed since we released the patch that there are still a few of them out there. We will be monitoring for any more of those, and we will continue to squash those out as we see them, all right? So if you guys do still see those curving fly balls, please do let us know. We'll keep looking to get those removed piece by piece as we see them, and we will eventually get all of those finally eradicated.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun doing the Big Rich Machine or doing GNR Run the Mets, and there's a line drive to center field. Oh, actually, no, that's a foul ball behind first base. Whoopsie. So yeah, always fun when that happens. But all kidding aside, again, it's 3D wasn't even a thing 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right?
Oh,
Players moving around, throwing the ball, sliding, diving, right?
So I remember when they were little pegs. That's all you had was little
pegs. And it wasn't that long ago. So 3D is hard. So we're in a good spot, but there's still more for us to potentially get. So, we're feeling really good about it, but it's one of those things, it's never done, right? You are never done with this kind of a thing. And so, we feel really good about it, but there might be a few of those crazy fly balls still in there. And if so, we're going to grab them and we're going to fix them and we're going to make them fly straight, fly true, fly correctly.
Yep, absolutely. All right. In addition to the fly ball changes, we have also fixed the waiver claim issues. We had some problems with the waiver claims. I think this was reported via the forums. I think I actually remember seeing that post. But we believe we have fixed and resolved that issue. We also fixed a problem with draft pick trading in the initial season of a league. I think that was also someone who put up a forum post about that. Most of these things I'm either hearing about or I'm actually directly involved with. We also adjusted draft demands for some players. This was one I was not involved with, actually. Previously, we had some players who were being drafted but having 0 demands even in early rounds, so we have gotten that resolved as well. And then the big one at the bottom of the screen here, we have some various live start fixes. We believe we fixed some AI default roster issues with our live start. And we also have gotten the MLB updated for the 2020 rules, and I believe this was in regards to the playoff rules. They made some last-second playoff rules that we needed to adhere to, so we have gotten those involved. And
I love our partners at Major League Baseball. They're awesome to work with. I love them. I got to tell you, I don't appreciate the whole, okay, we started the season, but we're still going to keep making changes to the rules. I got to say, it makes it very difficult sometimes when you're making a baseball game that has to have all of those stuff. At least if you're going to change the rules, change them before the season starts.
Yes.
All kidding aside, though, huge kudos to our team, our development team, the engineers and the developers. It is very difficult. And I'm not trying to say, woe is me. This isn't that at all. I'm just saying, like, flat out, it is difficult to get these changes in literally on the fly.
Yes.
And get them in the game and make them work. So we appreciate everybody's patience. Live starts are a big deal, right? There's a lot of data that comes in. There's a lot of data that moves around. We don't own the data. We get it from a service that we subscribe to. So there's a lot of changes and things like that. And this year we are going to have, as you mentioned, the live start continue to get support through the playoffs as well. Remember, the live start stopped at the end of the regular season last year, but we're going to keep on rolling with the live start through the playoffs this year as well. So we're excited about it, and I'm just, it's really fun to be able to keep the live start train rolling and to keep making it better and better each time we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we also want to make sure that as we advance into playoffs that our live start doesn't have any issues when we hit playoffs. So that is also majorly why we're going to be doing some monitoring on those to make sure that everything is smoothly working when we hit the playoffs time, and that people starting live starts for playoffs won't have a whole bunch of bugs. So that's what we're looking to accomplish with that right about there.
Question in the chat: ETA on OOTP Go? It's coming soon. I don't exactly know, but it's definitely this year. To Treadlord's point, definitely this year. I'm hoping much sooner than later. And as soon as we can officially say here is the plan and here is the deal and here's the dates, I promise you we will say it. There will be a beta as well, so there will be a beta. And some of you have expressed an interest in participating in the beta, and that is definitely something that we will have an announcement about as well soon. And I want to say an exact date. Trust me, I want to. It's soon, right? We're working on it. We're every single day. I've got it running on my phone right now. It's a massive effort, and we want to make sure that. Even though it'll be a beta, that it's as smooth of a beta as possible. So we're working on it, and it's coming. And a big part of my life is spent on Out of the Park Go every single day. So.
Yeah, I have to wrangle Rich away from his OOTP Go stuff to be able to help us with any questions we have at tech support. So it's got to finish soon.
And actually, we would already have launched the beta had Nicolino completely not, broken everything. But that's a separate
true.
issue.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to talk about that. So let's just keep moving forward.
Anywho, so continuing off our patch notes, we did tweak pitcher stamina and role calculations for historical minor leagues. This will hopefully produce more starting pitchers when you guys do historical leagues. So you guys should notice some differences if you are going to start up a new historical league at this point. They should feel a little bit more relatable to the eras they're in regarding starting pitchers. We also fixed some errors when resuming games in progress. This was actually something that had come around because of multiple tickets to our support system. We had noticed that some people were having some issues with their games in progress.dat file whenever they would leave a game and come back into it. We have resolved that from what we understand, so if you see more problems about that, keep sending them into our support system. But we do believe we've gotten that fixed, at least with the coding, and it should be all set and ready to go. We fixed the extra inning runner attribution on pitcher change, or a pitching change. I believe this was in regards to the extra innings runner starting on second base and who that run would be attributed to.
It's an unearned run, right? So
yes,
it's not.
Yes.
It's not technically attributed as an earned run. It's an unearned run.
Exactly, and it's also not an inherited runner, which I think was also something that we had to fix as well, because pitchers were getting inherited runners for a runner that they didn't let on base. So we believe we've gotten that fixed as well. We also fixed scouting graphs to properly handle relative ratings. I believe this was in regards to the scouting pages for players. We fixed some issues when owners control budgets, not setting them properly. This was in regards to the 60-game live start seasons. We had a lot of people who had problems, I believe, with owners setting up budgets that were completely not acceptable, or completely just way either too low or way too high, depending upon the finances that were set up for the short seasons. So we fixed what we believe to be the problem for that. We also fixed some issues with expanding the draft protection list. This was a UI/handling problem, so we've gotten that fixed, we believe, and that was whenever you're doing, again, those expansion drafts and you try to do protections on those and protecting your kids and not letting them get involved in the expansion draft pool. We also fixed a bug where leaderboards would stop updating. This was also something that we had in our tech support system. That was an actual ticket. We've added a new button located in the database tab underneath your league settings. If your league is having problems not showing leaders in red on their profile pages, so for example, if Ichiro doesn't have his his leading as a hitter, batting average, hits, doubles, whatever, you can click on this button and it will hopefully be able to resolve whatever issues were happening with your league and get those squared around. And from that point on, it will be working again once again for leaders. And then the last thing I believe we wanted to talk about today, Rich, is going to be a couple of PT-related fixes and changes or additions at this point. And I know you guys have probably already heard this from Chris, as he was really, really happy to bring this about on Monday, I believed. We have added a new column that you can sort with that's listed as is active. And you can use this to be able to sort through your rosters in PT to show who is active and who is not. This will be really good for people who want to be able to either sort out or be able to have a listing that they can sort with that lets them see all their active players on the list and group them all together. Also, we added all the new support for new tournament restrictions. As you guys can see on screen, there are going to be a ton of new restrictions for tournaments in terms of PT. This is more of a server-related fix than a single-player-related fix or even an OOTP-related fix. This is Perfect Team, but again, we wanted to mention it because it was involved in the patch notes, and it also was done around the same time. So we do have all these new restrictions, and I'm pretty sure Chris has already mentioned about them once or twice, but these range from Rookie Sensation to era-only cards, and this will make PT tournaments a lot more fun for you guys and allow you guys to have more variances in regards to that.
And somebody brought it up about the box scores. We did discover, or I guess, I don't know if discover is the right word, but there is a group of people, and I believe, because you have been working heavily on this, Alex, I believe they are all Mac users. There is an issue that was somehow introduced in the latest version of the game that we're talking about here, related to Mac users, where sometimes box scores and or game logs are not showing up, are blank. So Alex, maybe we can chat about that a little bit. So we do know it's an issue.
Certainly.
We have gotten pretty far along with the issue. Again, does appear to only be Mac users. But Alex, maybe give a little update on where we are with that.
So this actually, I'm gonna make a how do I say this? We have not been able to verify that this is actually a build 81 issue, because I had somebody about a week ago before the beta for this new build came out saying that they had the same problem. So it actually isn't a new release problem. This is something that has just suddenly come to light in about the past week or so at this point. We do notice there's a small group of people on Mac who are having problems being able to view game logs and box scores. We did get all the information, their trace files, everything, sent over to our development team. They've looked into the issue, and they believe they have found something that is causing the Mac builds to not unzip the downloaded box scores or game logs occasionally, because some people have also reported that half of their game logs work, half of them don't. They'll click on a game and it'll show up, but then the next one won't. So we're still investigating into that. I hope that we'll have a fix for that very, very soon. But it's only happening on Macs. I have never seen this issue happen on a PC. So my apologies to all of our Mac users. We're looking into it. We're trying to get to the bottom of it as fast as possible, and we will get that resolved as quickly as we can.
Yes, we absolutely will. We recognize it. The good thing is that we can reproduce it, right?
Yes.
The hardest thing to do sometimes in trying to solve a problem with a computer is being able to reproduce it. But we have been able to reproduce it. And once we know what the problem is, we will deploy a fix. Sometimes we can make updates without having to release a patch, right? There's basically, there's two types of updates you can make to Out of the Park Baseball. One is called a client update, and one is a server update, right? A client update is code in the game that needs to be deployed and be included as part of a patch. Server side is something we can just adjust on our side, and there is no need for an update. Just the next time that you happen to connect to our servers, you'll just see the results of that. This would appear as if it is a client side update, which would mean that it would be included in a future patch. So that also means that there is a strong likelihood there will be at least one more major release, one more major build for Out of the Park Baseball 21. And if there's at least one more, that probably means there might be 2 or 3 more, because that's how these things tend to go.
At least one hotfix patch, at least, from my understanding.
Yes.
They would at least hotfix patch the Mac issue for the downloading problem. But we are also aware of there being still some issues with the fly balls. We're eradicating those as fast as possible as well. So all in all, there may be one more full patch. And as Rich mentioned, you make one full patch. Maybe we make another full patch. Maybe there's just one more down the road that covers more problems than we discover as we go down. But yeah, we will be, again, we'll be working on that, guys. We already have some good work already done by our development team to discover those issues, and we're going to be probably getting you guys some more information about that very, very soon here.
So hopefully this was a valuable session for everybody. Again, I think this is something that we're excited to be able to do. We think it's important to be able to communicate these things clearly and directly to the community. And we love that you're able to get some Twitch drops along the way, get some of those free Perfect Team card packs. That's always a lot of fun. And just again, I hope everybody found this to be valuable. And again, kudos to you, Alex Murray, for putting all of this together. Great job. Well done. And now, since you've done such a great job, you have to keep on doing this every single time.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I actually wouldn't mind doing this. The ability to have a build release stream is actually something that we've been thinking about doing for a long time. So in regards to taking questions, I think we could, Rich. We just hit 35 minutes,
Sure.
And I think we want to go till, 45 for the drops?
Yeah, let's
Isn't
go.
that the idea?
Got a couple of questions, and we can absolutely take them.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and send them our way. I know someone already asked about the Mac issue for the box scores and game logs, so I'm glad we talked about that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or problems, please do give us some questions right now. And yeah, I'd love to be able to do more of these streams down the road, to be able to give you guys just thorough updates about what we're bringing and, the stuff that we're being able to patch into the game and work with, because those are fantastic to be able to show you guys.
So let's see, there's a couple of questions that came up here. Let me scroll up to them. I thought I saw one there. Maybe I didn't.
Could there be a sort bar for the auction house for this SE cards? I know that we're doing a lot of behind-the-scenes investigation into just what it would take to have sorting and much more in-depth filters and stuff for the auction house. I'm not aware of what exactly they've discovered about that yet. I think Rich might have more information about that than I do. Do you?
Well, yeah, we've put in a lot of time and resources into improving the performance of the auction house. I think we all sort of collectively, and it makes sense, we sort of forget that the auction house performance was not particularly good for a while. And again, kudos to our engineers who have spent a lot of time optimizing and fixing the auction house. So in terms of the auction house, there's no real further plans for Out of the Park 21 for the auction house. But obviously, as we look to the future, because we do make Out of the Park baseball every single year, auction house quality of life improvements are absolutely at the forefront. The thing to understand with the auction house in particular, right, is performance is crucial, right?
Yes.
You need the auction house to be speedy and responsive, and the more and it's not an excuse. It's just it's just the deal, right? The more that you put on top of that with code and with UI code and with queries and all that stuff, the more you have to slow down. There's a lot of data in the auction house. So we absolutely have got a lot of great ideas, and keep telling us your ideas, right? Like, so I just want people to understand, right? Like it's not just about, let's add this or add that. Like we have to, the most important thing with the auction house is speed and performance. If you got a bunch of cool stuff on there, but it takes 10 seconds to return the data, that car that you're trying to buy might have been sold in 9 seconds and you wouldn't have got it. So there's a balance there with the volume. So, but we're definitely always thinking about and collecting information on auction house improvements for the future, no doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like that's also in line with the other person's question. Whitman asked, any plan to be able to filter out locked cards? I think that's something that we're also looking probably for 22 to have, if it doesn't, have a problem with the calls to the servers, if it's not too slow. That would be something that I would personally love to have, because I'd love to be able to take away anyone that's locked in my account and just, not see them, because I don't need to see them while I'm looking for people to sell back to the auction house, or not just selling, quick sell them back to the auction house at this point. So that would be nice. But I think that goes along with what Rich was saying about that as well.
Another question asked about, will the manager gender and appropriate pronouns be addressed in either a later patch or Out of the Park Baseball 22? The answer is yes, it absolutely will. This is another one of those things where a lot of this stuff is really deep in there. If it were a super easy switch, we would have done it. We certainly apologize for the situations, and I think what Yakarin is referring to specifically is when you create a baseball executive that is a female, some of the emails do not properly reflect that. So that is just it's an issue on our side that we are absolutely going to address. We recognize it. I don't know exactly when, because as I mentioned, there's a lot of that stuff is sort of really deep in the game, but it's absolutely something that we recognize and we will address.
Yeah, that was something that I think was brought up on the forums. I think that was actually something that I brought up to the dev team. So, yeah, thank you for alerting us about that. Yeah,
and it's one of those things. We for many years we didn't have the opportunity to be a female executive. It wasn't because of any other reason other than we there weren't any for quite some time, and then when there was, we got it in there and we made it happen. Right? Should have happened sooner, didn't, but we did it when females started taking those positions, and we support it. We wouldn't have it in there if we didn't want to support it, and we just gotta get it to 100% instead of 95%.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really stoked to be able to see that be added, and I think that'll be a good thing for the game all around. So, yeah. AG Dion had a question about syncing voices with action. Is that in regards to the experimental voice announcement, or is that with something else? I'm afraid I don't see your previous text, unfortunately, so I don't know what the original question was.
While we do that, let's look at a couple of other questions. Would love to be able to see my transaction log on Excel. Michael Vick, no one loves a good spreadsheet more than yours truly. I agree. Some sort of an export to a CSV file would be awesome. Definitely something that we can look to do in the future as well. Sorry, but my cat is knocking all of my spree off of my deck. I had my purple and red spree perfectly lined up here nicely for me to eat as soon as the stream is over, and Nyalki just jumped up on my desk and knocked them all over. So it's a bit of a disaster over here. Apologies if I was a little distracted there.
No worries.
Let's see.
Here's a good question. Yangdo, this might be a question for you, Rich. Are you guys going to put more languages into the game instead of English? I'm pretty sure you've answered this before, but go for it, Rich.
Well, the answer... Sorry, again, cat problems here. The answer is we absolutely want to. We absolutely want to. We want more languages in the game. The reason there aren't more languages in the game, you could probably guess, because there are 10 quadrillion lines of text in the game, right? Every screen is jammed with stuff. So to do the localization, and that's the key word, right? It's not translation, it's localization. Localization is very important, right? You don't want to unwittingly put incorrect context into a game. And so with a game as big and deep as ours, that's a big deal. But the answer is yes, we absolutely have plans to. It's not a one day we'd like to. We absolutely have plans to localize the game in other languages, particularly in a couple of Asian languages like Korean and Japanese. We certainly aren't able to commit to a version or a date to that, but we absolutely recognize that. We want it. We have a significant portion, right? Like I don't exactly know the percentages, but a a material number of people who play our game who are based in Korea, based in Japan. That's obviously one of the big reasons we have those leagues in here. So we definitely want to have localized language versions of Out of the Park. It is a goal. It is is an internal company commitment. We just don't know exactly when.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see if I can find any other questions that we can at least give an answer to, or at least be able to talk about. Some stuff, I don't think we have anything I can actually say about regarding that. I am way behind on chat, unfortunately. Let me see. Any other questions? I had some people who came up saying that the servers look like they're a little bit stuck. If you want to, DM me which server you're in that you think is stuck, and I'll look at it and make sure that a server dev and myself can look at that and make sure it's working correctly. You can find me on the Discord. My name is just either AZAxel or I believe it's Alex Murray Support. You can find me on the Discord, so if you are seeing problems with your servers or your tournaments, that they feel like they're stuck, please, please, please send me a message, let me know, or put it in the Discord itself. You can put it underneath the tournaments channel or the general channel, and we'll be able to look into that as well. Do you see anything else in there you want to look at, Rich, or talk about at this point?
I could hang out here all day and chat, but we do need to get rolling. So hopefully this was a lot of fun for everybody. It was a lot of fun for me. I appreciate it. And the Twitch drops are running. You'll get your drops again. They seem to be running late and slowly these days, but there's nothing we can do about it. But they will show up. I know that because I've got my free-to-play account hooked up to it, and I turned it on this morning after watching some streams, and they were all there. So your drops are coming. It's all good. And hey, again, Alex, I want to say great job, well done. And I want to thank you for doing tremendous work and putting this together. I want to thank everybody for being here as well. So I think we're ready to call it a stream, Mr. Murray.
I think we're good. We're at exactly 45 minutes and 3 seconds. So thank you so much for everyone for being here, for watching this very first Bugs to Beta to Build stream. We will do more of these down the road as we release more and more of our builds. So look out for these as we continue to release more stuff. And then otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Rich, for being here with me, for helping me work through this and making sure that we stay on track. We will talk to you all very soon. I believe we have our next stream tomorrow, right, Rich?
Oh, boy. Tomorrow is the big one.
Our big one.
The massive one. The huge one. A lot of people think tomorrow's the night we get to 1,000 live viewers for the 9 p.m. This Week in Perfect Team Face of the Franchise, the ultimate, not penultimate, the ultimate Face of the Franchise live stream This Week in Perfect Team, 9 p.m. tomorrow. Check it out.
Absolutely. Please be there for that, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm certain that Chris is going to just absolutely floor you guys with an amazing stream tomorrow with cards that you guys are all going to be drooling over. So I hope to see you all there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We will talk to you all later.